Why can't you do a schedule and stick to it? An actual schedule. I know you always see all the times on TikTok and all of these platforms, everybody in school does schedules and they have like their timetable, all of their study sessions planned, but you can't stick to it. And you've actually tried. I'm pretty sure everybody has tried to do a schedule for themselves, like having a sheet of paper with all of the stuff that they need to do. But why can't you stick to it? Right? And that is the most important matter. You can color it as you want, highlight it, make it look pretty, do a lot of tasks and write down all the tasks that you want to do. But why can't you stick to it? I know you deal with procrastination, your phone, you can stick to it. You might even start off strong, do a couple of tasks, then just give up midway. So how can you actually do a schedule for you that you can stick to? First reason for that, and I think is the most common, is you're not making it specific. The schedule or whatever you're doing, you're not making it specific. Right? I know what a lot of people do. I see a lot of people whilst making like their schedule, they're like, oh, study math, yeah, study English, then a break, then study Arabic, study I don't know whatsoever. What do you mean study English? Or what do you mean study Arabic? Where is the context? Make your schedule specific as as possible, right? So you are getting into the schedule, the page that you're going to open, you're going to go on and study right away, right? So stop with the study English. Be a bit more specific with what you're going to do. Study English, write down study grammar, lesson 1, page 1 and 2. Maybe you're only going to study half the lesson per se. Write it down. Write the page of what you're going to study. Listen 3, 4, I don't know, grammar, half the lesson till page, 27 or so whatsoever. Write that down in your schedule. Be very, very much specific about the task or what you're going to do about your tasks, If you're going to do, as I said, study math, I'm going to answer exercises of page 23 and page 24. I do that. My schedule, mathematics, page 23 and page 25 answer. I'm not just writing down study math. You're gonna get so lost, especially if you're not feeling like doing anything, and you're gonna make it worse by not making it specific or just study math and like, I'll study math. But no, by writing down exactly what you're gonna do, like, oh, page, and I'm gonna answer. So you're just opening up your textbook and you're right away getting into answering your question. Make it specific. Second of all, which is as important and very much important, having a goddamn deadline, because it makes me so mad. All of these like schedules and highlighting, they're like, oh, I'll study math, I'll study this, and I see no timers. How long are you gonna do this task for? You need to have a deadline so you can have, you're a bit urgent while answering. What do I mean by having a deadline? Don't just go on, I'll go study. I don't even know how do people do that. You literally just open, I'm like, oh, I'm gonna study. Like, you should have a timer set up beside you. I'm going to study this lesson, or I'm going to answer these pages of math at a specific time. So page 25 and 26 in 30 minutes tops, they need to get done. And you have that timer, whether it's on your Apple Watch, I use my Apple Watch, or on your phone, or I don't know, a clock on whatsoever. Just have a time, have a deadline, so you can have some urgency while answering, and you will figure out how you are literally getting a lot of studying or variety of studying done at the same day, because I see a lot of people complain about like, oh, I only studied English the whole day, it took all my time. That's because you don't have a deadline. You're just studying and you're wasting time. Even whatever you're studying, an hour of maybe you're studying, then you sit down like that, and you might hold your phone a bit and you're like that. But trust me, once you have a timer and you concentrate all of that time, or of like in 30 minutes I have to finish page 25 and 26 of answering, you're just getting down and you're answering quickly because you have a 30 minutes top deadline. And once the 30 minutes are over, you need to stop. You'll see how much studying you get done. Trust me on this one. 30 minutes of English, then 30 minutes of Arabic, then 30 minutes of, I don't know, social studies and science. You're getting a lot of studying done. Have a deadline so you're urgent while answering. Don't just go in and open the book and, you know, like, if you're like someone who's traveling with no destination. Like, what do you mean? You're just opening the freaking textbook and you're like, I'm gonna study. Have a deadline. Third thing, and that might seem a bit weird and people think that, you know, it's so cool because they think that's how they're hardworking, is that you're not scheduling breaks. You're not scheduling breaks for yourself, which is the most, like, the worst thing that you could do to yourself is not scheduling a break time. Literally. People are like 30 minutes of English, then you don't even do 30 minutes. Let's say you're just doing a to-do list, like study English, study math, check. Where is your break time? You need to have a break. Never, oh my gosh, never underestimate the power. You need to shut your brain down for a bit. It's so much important. Taking breaks is as important as studying. Right? I cannot study for an hour straight. I've never studied for an hour straight. My top time is 45 minutes. So have time lapses. So 30 minutes of English, 5-minute break, 30 minutes of, I don't know, whatsoever next. You don't even, you know, after 30 minutes, your brain really just needs 5 minutes of just getting off the desk, not thinking about studying, just leave it all out of your head and go do something that you actually do enjoy, right? Whatsoever. And forget about the studying. You're gonna study for 45 minutes, so you're gonna take a 10-minute break. You're not gonna take a 30-minute break, it's 5 minutes. Sometimes I take 3 minutes breaks. Sometimes, you know, I study for only 15 minutes, so you're gonna decrease the time of your break, so 3-minute break. And I just go and do on anything. You have to schedule a break, even if you're not done. Even if you said 30 minutes of something and you weren't able to be done by that time, even if it's like that, you have to stop and take your breaks. Schedule breaks. Your brain, I think it's the whole study by itself, but whenever you break, so your brain is retrieving information and, you know, I don't know, but it's something that's retrieving information. And when you come after the 10 minutes or the 5-minute break and you come to study like a bit more, you're literally gonna feel so much refreshed by just a 5-minute break, and sometimes 3 minutes. Schedule breaks. Now let's be honest. If you're somebody who's not familiar with having a schedule, maybe you are a very, you know, a schedule type of person and you've been just doing it wrong, but you did do a schedule, all right? You're used to getting up earlier whatsoever. But let's be honest here. You're not gonna go from somebody who, let's say, wakes up at like 3 p.m., scrolls on their phone on TikTok, eats junk food, doesn't work out, doesn't study that much, just studies whenever a test is coming up the night before, cramming the night before, who wakes up at 3 p.m., to somebody who's waking up at 5 a.m., working out, eating salads, being healthy, studying for, I don't know, 6 hours, and working out, then doing this and that. All right? You have to take it slow, and that is important. Truly. So if you're somebody who's not a schedule type of person, you don't do a lot of schedules, all right? Take it slow. Don't like now you're just waking up at 3 p.m. and you don't study that much and your life is basically, terrible. You're gonna get that 5 a.m. motivation if you're gonna wake up and I'm gonna do this and that, because you're setting up yourself to failure. You're just motivated for a bit, so you're saying, oh, I'll wake up and do this and that, and it might last for a day, but next time, honey, what the hell are you gonna do when that motivation is lost? You're just not gonna do it. It's just seasonal motivation. Oh, on Monday I felt motivated, so I'm gonna study and do this and that. On Tuesday, oh, the motivation is gone, so I'm just gonna go back and sleep. You're setting yourself up for failure. That's what you're doing. We want to have a schedule that you're actually going to stick to it all the time. So take it slow. Maybe even just start by scheduling. If you don't do your bed after you wake up, just do your bed. I don't want no schedule, no nothing. It's best to practice before school starts. School is tomorrow. Gosh, don't remind me. Anyways, how about you just schedule right now to wake up and do your bed? That's all I'm asking you to do, to wake up and do your bed, right? Don't start doing a lot of hard stuff. Just wake up and do your bed. That's it. Then after 2 weeks, or maybe even a month of consistently doing your bed, you're mad, you're crying, you failed your test, I don't know, you're depressed, you're happy, I don't care. Get up and do your bed. You're introducing yourself to discipline and having a schedule, which is still so new to you, but I want you to stick to this one thing and do it every single day, no matter how you're feeling. Do your bed every single day. 2 weeks, let's incorporate something else. Let's per se waking up at 7 or 8 a.m. Wake up at 7 or 8 a.m. I don't care if you only slept for 2 hours, if you didn't sleep early, I want you to wake up at that time. Just wake up at that time. Or I think wake up at that time and pray, for example. All right? And sleep again right afterwards. I'm making it really simple for you. Then you're going to take the next step of waking up early every single day, for example. No matter what happens, you're gonna wake up early, do your bed, pray, then sleep again. I don't mind, all right? But just wake up at that time every day, pray and do your bed, then you can go to bed again if you want. And you know the drill now. That's how it goes. You're step by step, you're doing a habit. After 2 weeks of doing that, you're going to add another thing. Don't just add like big chunks of stuff into your schedule and you're not used to it, because you're setting yourself up to failure. And lastly, which is so important, that always remember that you're doing it for yourself. You want to improve. You're doing the schedule for yourself, and it's not just about studying. And I've said this a million times, it's so much better, so much bigger than school and then studying. It's about having a routine for your life. Key to success is having a routine that you can stick to it, right? Being consistent with it. It's so much bigger than school. You might start off just by doing a schedule for studying, but it's so much bigger than that. You might think I'm weird, but even in my summer vacations, I do have a schedule. Like I don't just leave myself like that. I've got so used to having a schedule, I can't just have a day where I'm not planning something. You might think it's too overwhelming, or that, it's gonna be too much. But trust me, it's just how you're happy. If you think about it, you're just like, oh my gosh, I have no time. I barely even study and go on my phone and eat and sleep. That's the only thing I do in my day. You might think that. But trust me, you do have time. And whatever you tell yourself, you do have time. And that you can make time. You can make time. You're just making up excuses for yourself, right? I'm gonna tell you something. I study, I work out, I play basketball, I film videos, I read, and I might even have a new hobby. Who knows? All of that, I do that whilst in the midst of my exams, while going to school. If you just have a schedule and you time block your day, which I talked about in my first video, you will have time. 30 minutes of studying, you're just maximizing the time of your study. You know, you're just like incorporating all of these study sessions in like 30 minutes. 30 minutes of pure focus. There's nothing else on your mind. And you'll have time for 30 minutes of reading, 30 minutes of filming this. I even have time to go on TikTok and watch videos and have family time whilst playing sports, being on a team in basketball, working out. I lift weights in the gym. All of that is possible, right? You just need to have what most people don't have nowadays, which is time management skills. And it's so freaking important. Some adults don't have time management skills. If you start doing it now, start small now from a very young age, you're gonna thank yourself 5 years or 10 years from now, because you're gonna get busier. Studying is gonna get a bit harder. You're gonna have more material to study. Does that mean that you're not gonna have a social life? That you're gonna, stay locked up in your room studying and do nothing else? I do not support that. I never quitted my sport, nor my working out in the gym, nor having family time, nor going on my phone just for school. Because you're human, you have life outside studying. So why not being able to do the most of your time, okay, incorporate most of your time so you can have time for other essential important stuff too. So you can manage school and having a social life together, which is the key to success. Is basically having a routine, knowing how to do a routine, even not just having one, right? Knowing how to do an effective one is just everything, truly. And it's so much bigger than school. It's about you and your life. Because if you think about it, when you go on TikTok and you just have nothing to do the whole day and your day is terrible, do you feel happy? Your body's nature, your body loves to work, whether you like it or not. Your body loves being busy. It's in your nature, it's your instinct. God created us like that. We love work. You're happier when you're working. You feel great after, being done with a workout. You feel great after doing something hard and then resting. Your body, your soul's and body's nature, and how you're gonna get comfortable and how you're gonna feel so relaxed is by having to work and having breaks, of course. But if you're busy and you have stuff to do, you are happy, because that's just your body's natural. Your body is made for work. So you're not happy when you're sitting down and on your phone and doing nothing all day. You're actually generally depressed.